SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here today to talk about CBCS, that is Choice-Based Credit System. Now, I'm sure nobody is unaware of this term, Choice-Based Credit System, because we have been following the system for the past 3 years. However, after one cycle of CBCS, it is felt that now we need to review the implementation and the modes which we have been following throughout. First, just a small recap of what CBCS was envisioned as. CBCS is choice-based credit system. That means we offer a choice to the students of what to study, when to study, how and where to study. Credit basically indicates the importance factor of the courses. More the credit, more important is the course, more the weightage that is given to it. Choice-based credit system also imbibes the spirit of studying without sacrificing the creative ability. That means if a student has a hobby or has the ability to do something beyond his core, he can do that without sacrificing either his study or study without sacrificing his hobby. Choice is again the basic motivating factor behind CBCS system. That is, he gets a wide variety of choices within his curriculum and outside his discipline also. Okay. When it was first thought to implement CBCS, a committee was formed under Professor Goel of MSU and Professor A.U. Patel, the ex-Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University. They visited various universities throughout India and studied various successful models throughout the country. They compiled an exhaustive report and submitted it, which was later on presented to the Vice Chancellors of the state universities, the deans, faculties of various disciplines, and also students. It was deliberated upon, and then finally all the Vice Chancellors of the Gujarat state principally agreed to adopt the draft which was prepared. Accordingly, the government issued a circular in April 2011 which highlighted the main features of the CBCS which was to be implemented in Gujarat later on. These features included the semester system, creditization of subjects. That means earlier where we used marks out of 100, now we are grading the subject in terms of credits. Choice-based curriculum development. It will be a little different from the conventional pattern that we used to follow till now. Then, if the curriculum is changed, accordingly, the examination pattern as well as some administrative reforms were also required. In 2011, all the major universities of the state adopted CBCS in principle. An A-level program worth 144 credits was implemented. Basically, CBCS had 3 levels of implementation. The basic level was of 120 credits, then 144 credits, and the advanced level was 190 credit. In our state, we agreed to start the 144 credit program, which was equivalent to the honors program followed elsewhere. It was agreed to divide the syllabus in 3 major sections, that is the core, the elective and the foundation sections. Also, it was decided upon that in each section, student will be given a wide variety of choices in the topics or the courses that he has to study. Further, it was also agreed to adopt the continuous and comprehensive assessment method. That this is a deviation from the traditional end of the year examination that we used to follow till now. Again, within the examination reforms, it was also accepted to follow the grade system instead of the marks system. In 2011, all these reforms were implemented. Now, when we come to 2014, one cycle has been completed So it was decided to review the implementation of the CBCS system. Now just a quick look at what happened. Earlier, when we were in the annual pattern, at that time, say for example, we take the program of BSc with physics. At that time, a student has to, in the first year, he had to study 3 papers. One would be physics, the other 2 would be either maths and chemistry or say chemistry and biology. So he had 3 core courses, 1 course for language and 1 foundation course. In the second year, 1 major would remain intact, that is physics would remain intact, but one of the 2 subsidiaries would be dropped and the language and foundation course would remain as it is. In the third year, only the major paper had to be studied along with the language and foundation course. Now we review the present CBCS scheme which is being implemented. Say for example, we take the same program. Again, in the first and second semester, a student has to study 3 papers and then 1 elective course and 1 foundation course. In the second year, that is the third and fourth semester, he studies 3 papers of the major subject and 3 papers of one of the 2 subsidiary subjects and 1 language and foundation course. And finally, in the third year, that is the 5th and 6th semester, he has 5 papers of the major subject and 1 of subject elective plus the elective and foundation course. Now, if we review this pattern closely, it comes out that although the elective section has a large choice, that is, he can pick up 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 24 papers, but still, quintessentially, the pattern has remained the same. Whatever we used to do in the annual pattern is now divided into a half-yearly pattern. So, essentially, there is no change in the implementation of the system. As I said, we have followed the credit system. From marks, we have shifted to credits. But again, the choice is only at the entry level. Once the student decides what paper he wants to graduate in, after that there is no choice given to him. Further, the credits being adopted amongst all the universities varied widely. From 140 to 160, it could be anything. Again, the content of the syllabus for the same subject also varied widely. That means, if the same content is being taught in University A and University B, perhaps University A might be giving 140 credits for the content, while University B may be granting 160 credit for the same content. Another thing, it is also possible that while the credits given by University A and University B remain the same, the contents might vary widely. Hence, there is no uniformity either in the credit or in the syllabus content. As we come to the examination reforms, the continuous and comprehensive assessment also was not followed exactly in the spirit as it was envisioned. Therefore, whatever was mentioned in the government circular could somehow not be imbibed properly or appropriately during the implementation. The CBCS also mentions some core allied subjects which was nowhere in our pattern. Further, interdisciplinary and skill development courses were either very less or not at all in the program. And therefore, there was a large variation in the scheme across universities. This led to further complications after the graduates appeared, because while they were being taught different contents and the content was being given different weightage, but once they graduated, they were treated at par. For example, if a graduate from University A, having studied a course worth, say, 140 credit, and a graduate from University B, who went through a program of, say, 160 credit, if they both appear for NET, SLET, or any competitive examination, both of them are treated at par, assuming that both have studied the same content, both possess the same knowledge, But in actual, it was not so. And hence, our students were at a disadvantage after graduation. Secondly, due to the disparity between the credit or the scheme, hence, portability of credits was not possible. For example, if a student studies physics in University A, due to some issue, say medical issue or any personal issue, if the need arises for him to move to University B, it could not be possible because the credits, the content, everything between the two universities did not match. And hence, due to the same reasons, semester transportability was also not possible, which was mandated in the CBCS circular framed in 2011. Therefore, after reviewing the present state of implementation of CBCS, it was thought of to put forward certain steps to remedy the situation. The very foremost step being restructuring the CBCS scheme with a harmonious program throughout. When we say harmonious, we mean that the same framework must be adopted through all the universities. A harmonized syllabus where a minimum standard is proposed. This would ensure that after graduation, a student from, say, University A or B is not at a disadvantage when he is evaluated on a national level. Again, the universities have full freedom to add in the elective area as per their strength or as per the expertise available with them. Whatever is being proposed, the harmonized syllabus is just a minimum standard. We cannot go below that. However, if you want to deliver content beyond this, then you are always welcome to do so according to your expertise. There is also the provision for catering to local needs. For example, a student of a particular region or a college in a particular region might have their own requirements, which might not be the case with a college in another region. So, there is an open-ended scheme or an open-ended section in this scheme in which you can cater to the local needs, keeping the basic structure as it is. And finally, implementation of multiversity as a transportability mechanism, because this will ensure that a student gets the freedom to choose where to study and when to study, which is also a very important factor in the spirit of CBCS. Again, we come to the point that the core will deal with the program the student chooses to graduate in. But why do we need the electives? First of all, after graduation, any student will have to go to the field. Electives are those courses which enable him to bridge the gap between what is taught in the college and what is being applied in the field. It is relevant to his sector. It is something which increases his employability quotient. It might even help him in an entrepreneurial venture if he wishes to start one. In this elective section, you might introduce him to research projects or to some internship if it is feasible, available, and also something in which he can do some hands-on learning, not just classroom learning. Why do we introduce employability enhancing electives? The basic motivator behind education is a handsome and a paying job. All our students come with the vision of this. And hence, if we can give him something beyond the classroom which might deliver an edge to him once he comes out onto the field, it will be an added advantage for him. Hence, all employability enhancing electives, for example, various courses of ITIs or even technical schools or various KVK trades, courses in event management, courses in entrepreneurial skills, all can be included within this CBCS framework. All cutting-edge discoveries are being made at the meeting point of two disciplines. It has been established now. Hence, interdisciplinary section plays an important role in orienting our students towards this aspect of science and technology or even arts. These are some of the disciplines which are general in nature, which can be learnt or which can be imbibed by a student of any stream. And hence, interdisciplinary electives have also been included in our scheme so that the student does not remain away from the progress or the research that is being going on. At present, what we are attempting to do is prepare a structured scaffold or a framework which is as imbibed in the circular of CBCS of the government dated 2011. It includes curriculum development according to the CBCS circular, content development. Of course, our teachers will have to be oriented, and also some capacity building exercise will have to be taken up to orient the faculty as well as the students to the new scheme of things. Our classrooms will also have to be changed. The traditional chalk and board method will not work anymore. Of course, it is the basis of teaching, but now, with advancement in exposure to technology, our teachers will have to go much beyond the chalk and board. To support the change in curriculum, some reforms in the examination system will also have to take place. And of course, if these are to happen, then administratively also we need to change some rules and regulations. Let us take a glimpse of the proposed model of CBCS for our state. As we mentioned earlier, the program is worth 144 credits.